Years ago, mankind used their power to expand their empire. When the empire grows and grows, it becomes more difficult for them to rule the entire kingdom. And this leads to civil war. If you're wondering that civil war only happens among mankind, you'll be wrong. In this video, let me introduce you the civil war of the Ant supercolony. These ants are called destructive trillions, an invasive species from India. Instead of living with separate nets like normal ants do, the nets are connected to each other and tend to transfer foods, eggs, larvae, and even queens. They become the supercolony and spread like plague. For more information about them, check this video out. Because of having multiple queens in each nest, connecting and transferring resources from one nest to another, having the ability to survive for a long time without food, and the ability to form living raft during flood, they become tyrant ant supercolony containing billions of workers and conquered many kilometers. As the growing empire produces a lot of offsprings, their DNA slowly changes from generation to generation and they start to compete with their mother colony. This is the war over my dog's food. The allies become enemies and fight each other with no mercy. The first colony lives inside my house wall. They are sending numerous warriors to the battle. Destructor ants can form a very long trail. By looking at the marching trail, we can see how numerous they are. There are a lot of them. They even make some ants guard the trail. Very impressive, right? These brave warriors are going with full speed to help their sisters in the battlefield. They are unstoppable. Some ants are trying to take the food back to the nest. Each of them know what to do. They won't be hesitate to slay any obstacle disturbing their way. They will sting it to death. Now this is the battlefield. This bloody war is full of ants, biting, stinging, killing, and ripping apart each other. Can we call this hell? While they are fighting, some ants are trying to take the house-sized foods back to the nest. Impressively, the second colony is from my neighbor's house. They are also true warriors. Destructor ants can form a very long trail, crossing one house after another. They are heading to the battlefield. If we look closer, we can see they are a little more reddish in color than the first ones are. This may be one of the main reasons of the civil war. They are also numerous. At the end of the trail, there is the battlefield. Both sides are fighting for their colony. Each of the ants have particular tasks to do. Some are fighting with the enemies. Some ants are trying to take the food back to the nest. Some ants are scouting and tracking, like how much of food is left and how many of the enemies are there. This is the real war. So, how those hundreds of blind ants distinguish friend or foe? Although they are blind, they are able to pick up scents with their antennae. By this way, they can tell who is their friend or their enemy. They are fighting for hours. Each of them are trying to take over the food. The rivals look almost the same in appearance. In the end, who will get all these foods and who will retreat? Let's take a look into the civil war of destructive trillions. The strategy of destructor ants is to bite and hold the enemy until it gets exhausted. They will hold and pin the enemy down. Now we can see the color difference between the rivals. While the two ants are biting each other's mandibles, one ant comes and tries to help her sister. But it won't be that easy. Destructor ants possess venomous stingers at the end of their abdomen. Although they are not painful to humans, they are like knives to other ants. Do you see that? These two ants are nestmates, and they are not biting each other, they are sharing the food. This ant's task is to provide their members energy during war. Interesting, right? She's the one to help her exhausting members by giving them food as energy. She had stored a lot of food in her stomach and vomits into her members' mouth. Ugh, disgusting. But this is the necessary thing among social insects like ants. Ants don't have tail. Instead, they have abdomen. Social stomach in it can also be used to store foods. Well, let's go back to the war. As they fight fiercely, the war grows fiercer. two rival gnats are fighting each other. Their task is simple: rip your enemy apart. Hours later, the ants from my neighbor's house retreat back to their hive. The ants from our house are more numerous, able to share information faster and closer to the battle place. So they finally won and took over the food. However, we are missing something: the casualties. After the war, many casualties are left. But the winning colony will take all the food back to the nest and feed their youngs and queens. Wait a minute, they're invasive species. The formidable invasive species growing stronger is not a good news for the native ants. How would native ants deal with them? There will be another video about that. They are the pirates of the ant world, trailing everywhere, destroying everything and expanding their empire. They are called destructive trillions.